I would just putt on out of here. Get some good shots here. Look at that. Ooh, baby. Nice in the sun. It's in the 50s today, and it feels awesome. I mean, it's been a while since I've been out when it's been in the 50s. But I'll tell you what, I'm getting acclimated to the Pacific Northwest after 8 years of being here. The 50s don't feel like the 50s used to. I'm getting noticeably colder in the 50s than I used to. In Ohio, Northeast Ohio, after a winter of 30s and 40s, you get to the mid 50s and mid to high 50s, and it was like summer. It felt like summer after winter. And now it's still chilly. Like, I still feel chilly. So it's either just me getting older. I'm sure it's a combination of a bunch of stuff, but getting older, getting acclimated to the climate here, and the extremes aren't as extreme as they were in Ohio. But oh my gosh, look at that. I've been on this road a million times, and this view right here is still one of my favorites on my easy to get to rides. You can see over there that line across the trees is another road I like to ride on. That might actually be this road. I can't remember how that loops across, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the roads I'm on over there sometimes. Just beautiful. I love looking down on clouds. You certainly can't do that very often in Ohio. It's just so cool seeing those little fire circles like that. Somebody has taken the time to set that up, and it's just a wide spot in the road. You can just camp anywhere basically. As I understand it, the folks out east don't have that same luxury, at least not as commonly as we do out here. It's almost, I didn't do this kind of riding when I lived back that way. In Ohio, I think there were places you could do it, because my dad and I used to truck camp in different places, but just off the side of the road. But you didn't have like fire circles like that, like somebody set up and have been used time and time again. You can tell they've been there forever. Just a wide spot in the road. And even that was, something you'd have to go to a state park to see. I mean, obviously this is a national forest, so it's federal land, it's public land. But really love it out here. I'll have to tell the story of how we came to come out here. It's not that interesting probably, but maybe Maybe to some it would be. I don't know. It's interesting to talk about. Listen to that engine just chug along. I'm just basically engine braking. I'm in first gear, just kind of coasting down this hill. The DR650 is such a great bike. Even with all its little idiosyncrasies and the fact that it seems like no two are the same from the factory. One of my last videos I talked about, or I should say one of my recent videos, I talked about emotionally cheating on the DR650, and the bike I'm looking at, the V-Strom 650. You know, it's still a 650, but a lot more, probably a lot more comfortable for some of the kind of riding I want to do, which is just out further on pavement. To find, you know, I could ride it on a road like this. This isn't difficult, and I'm certainly, you know, I'm not a fast off-road rider. Really, this, to me, this isn't even off-road. This is off pavement. But one of the things I struggle with is the DR650 is such a good bike for the kind of riding I do. You know, it would be perfectly capable of doing those kind of rides that I want to do, you know, further out. In fact, I've done it, you know, maybe not 200, 300, 400 miles in a day, multiple days in a row, but I've certainly done, you know, a couple hundred miles at a stretch without issue, other than, you know, obvious body issues. You get uncomfortable, but the problem with, it's hard to justify another bike when you have a bike that can do so much. I don't want to get in that mess. So, you know, finances aside, it's really hard to pull the trigger on another bike, because I've got myself in this situation where I have a hard time justifying it to myself. Even though I know that I would use that kind of bike differently. Whoops. And you know, somebody in my comment, ooh, that's muddy, I don't want to hit that too fast. Not at the kind of weird angle I was. Somebody in my comment said you wouldn't need the DR anymore. And I worried, like, well, what would I ride? What would be my daily rider? You know, I wouldn't want to, I wouldn't want to get rid of the DR, because I'm attached to it. You know, it's been, of the two bikes I've had, and I really loved my little CRF 250L, and it was hard to get rid of that thing. But the DR, I've made it more my own. I did some stuff on the CRF to modify it. It's so pretty. I gotta get a shot by a waterfall. I've done so much with the DR compared to that, and it's just got more personality. Probably some people would laugh at that statement, but it's just got a lot of personality. Like I said, you can talk to multiple DR owners, and I bet they each have some level of, you know, the bikes each have some level of individuality. it probably due to manufacturing tolerances or lack thereof, as some people would say, but they just have personality. Like, each one is a little bit different. And I think the more modern bikes, with especially with fuel injection and things like that, they may have those little individual idiosyncrasies, but they're maybe not as noticeable. I don't know. Interested in your thoughts on that, if you don't mind sharing. Whoop, something just ran under me there. Let's see what it was.